G'day YouTube, welcome back to my channel Bonsai Works. I'm David. I have another little Shimpaku juniper I'm going to look at working on today. This is a bit of, I want to actually see if I can get in a bonsai pot today as well. I want to do a little bit of work. It has already some work on it. It's more now just refining, put a bit of wire on it, cut a few branches off it, and then get it in a bonsai pot ready for the growing season. So these things I can do with this tree, and it's another little Shimpaku juniper that I have probably was an ELA at some stage. I've now made a nice little cascading branch off it. So we're looking at some sort of semi-cascade to a cascade tree from this. I don't really want to change that too much. I like that, and that's the intention I'm going for. It's just what I do with all this little section over here. It's probably not required, but are we going to cut them off? Probably just use them as cuttings or something like that, or do I gin them? And we'll have a look. So it's more the process of what are we going to do. I'm going to have a close look at the tree. I'm going to refine the tree a little bit. I'm going to work on getting all this properly wired and just make sure it's all looking good. Make sure that this is probably the apex I'm going to work with this cascading branch. I'm going to get that all sorted, and then we'll have a look at this section in a minute. So really all I'm going to do is just evaluate the tree. I'm going to wire this up. Things that you've seen before, you don't want to waste your time and watch me doing that. But let me just clean all this up, clean all this cascade up, and then look at what I'm going to do up here and what I'm going to do over here with the tree. So another windy day in Melbourne. I'm fighting the wind as always, but let's get into it. Alright, so as I've been working away, you can see the nice structure that I'm creating down here just from wiring. Hasn't been much removal at all. The only problem is now I'm trying to create this apex here, and these branches are really becoming problematic. They're really in the way because I want to push this apex back a bit and sit it on itself so I can create a more compact apex on the tree. So now you can see that these guys, I don't think they're going to add any value to it. So, got to cut them off. I don't know if I might have just little short gins. I don't think we need big twisty gins here. It's a very delicate tree, so I don't think I need too much in terms of length. In terms of a gin, just a nice, maybe a couple of small ones there. Maybe we'll join them up in the future, have a little, shari along that part there. So yeah, it's a bit messy at the moment, especially this apex this all needs to be rewired and compacted down. But I just want to explain that these guys, it is what it is. It's nice to have those long whips. I might just, put them in, grow them as cuttings a little bit, and just because they've got a bit of movement, so that's always good. So we're just going to cut those off. Simple as that. So let me just have a quick look. As I said, I probably just want to create a couple of little gins there for the future. I'll leave a little bit longer than I want to. Pretty easy. Two nice big long pieces. And now I can actually fix the apex on the tree. So you can see it's a bit too high. I want to really compact it down and make a nice little more compact apex in there. And that's the plan. And then I'll keep wiring everything out, ready for repotting. So all I'm doing is creating, you can see this cascading branch. It's just nicely wired out. Definitely needs to fill out a lot more with this tree. So it's nothing to write home about just yet, but I think in the future it'll be quite a nice little tree. Just want to work on this apex. I'll compact it down. Got to keep wiring all these little bits. So there's a lot of wiring to do still. And really get it compact, and then we'll look at what pot it can go into. So all I've done is really remove these two branches on the tree. Nothing really too problematic with the tree or too much overwork. Very, very minimal wiring, so I'm happy to repot at this stage. I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't repot a tree that I've cut off, let's say, a half of the foliage or a third of the foliage, or a lot of the foliage, and then I want to repot. Or I've really styled the tree heavily, wired it all up, removed half of the foliage off the tree, things like that. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't repot at the same time. This is purely minimal rewiring. I cut two branches off that are no longer needed, and I can happily repot this tree as well, and get it going in its new pot. So that's the plan, and I'll continue working on this bit, and then we'll compact it down, and then just and have a look at the tree, what it looks like, and then we'll decide what pot we want for it in the future. Alright guys, so I finished off the designing of this tree. Sorry, I lost the sound again. Created the little apex on the top and a nice little cascading branch. Looks really good, ready for repotting. And now I'll get it out of the pot and give the roots a bit of a wiggle with my hands. It's pretty easy when you've got nice open mix to actually get this work done.
you just use your fingers, and they act like, you know, prongs or chopsticks, etc., to really get into the soil and maneuver it all around and get it loose. So that's pretty good. It fell apart pretty easily, comes apart pretty good, and now we'll look at hopefully some pots to put it in, and we'll see what they look like and which ones are the best suited. Nice healthy roots. Was probably an air layer at some stage. Here's the first option. Now I thought this was the right pot initially, but I don't think it worked really well, that little square one. So I think this oval one is probably a better option. It's got a more subtle curves. So I'm going to go down the path of using this one instead. Yeah, wasn't much footage on the other one. I did try this one. Didn't look a bit too strong for this pot. Ideally, a nice drum pot would be better, or a small, like a small round Cascade kind of pot. But unfortunately, I didn't have anything like that on me at the time. Also, I thought I'd show the beginners how to prepare a pot for repotting. So this is where you use a Y, you bend it into a U shape, and then you do a couple of bunny ears. One you turn on the inside to you, the other one you turn on to the outside. So it kind of loops on the opposite side. You get your mesh, you put it in the pot, and then you thread those two end wires through, press them down on either side, and then you press down the two bunny ears down onto the pot, and there you go. That's how you prepare the little screen for the pot.
Alright everyone, so I've just prepared the pot. As you saw me putting the mesh on it, I put some soil and then rounded it in the middle. Now it's a matter of just getting it into the position I want. Now I usually put a bit of soil just to keep it balanced. Now I'll top it up with soil and then get some chopstick work happening.
And here's what the tree looks like finished in the pot. I haven't watered the tree in yet. I haven't watered the tree in yet, yeah, and cleaned the pot.
It's quite nice. I
But
would
it looks
like
alright,
it
looks pretty cute,
possibly
pretty nice
in a
little
drum
tree.
pot rather than
Just
this
let
pot.
it develop.
I don't have that at the
fill
moment.
out now, really.
So it is what it is.
That.
That's
Ideally a drum.
Well, come on, I'll show you a bit
deeper
more
would
advanced
work
one that
really
looks
well.
kind of like this
I've got a
in the
bigger
upcoming
version, more
videos.
advanced
But I'm
version
going to give it a
coming up
water,
with
clean the
similar
pot, and
kind
have a
of
look what it looks
tree,
like
which
in
I'll
the
show
final
you
stages.
in the next coming videos.
Okay, everyone, so there you go. Pretty nice, simple repot, simple tree. Pot's okay. I think a nice little drum pot would have been better. The rounded edges help soften the tree a bit more, so I think that's come along really well and the best I can achieve with this little tree. In the future, probably place it a little bit more to this side, but that's about it. But let it recover after that repot, and you know, lots of foliage for it to recover on, and it should be good. So there you go, guys, another little Shimpaku done and repotted and really ready for display. Thanks guys for watching, and see you soon.